Arca, you lead them to a woodworking shop. And you'll see outside, probably working on something, is an older man, human. He's got like graying hair and a graying like mustache and bushy eyebrows as he's like half hunched over whatever it is he's working on. Very deep set wrinkles in his face. This is a wizened old man. He doesn't notice you guys right away as you approach. What do you do?
Okay. Arca walks right up and kind of like casts his arms out to the sides and he says, Rob the Builder. Great to meet you.
Oh, it's Rob the Builder! It's Rob the Builder.
And he has this big grin on his face as he sets the saw down he was working on and says, "Oh, Arca, it's good to see you." And he'll step forward and he'll like wrap you in this big like bear hug as he probably not all that much taller than Arca. He's a little on the short side. Like probably lifts Arca off the ground a couple inches.
Dang. He's a strong lad there, dang. Rob
Yeah,
the
he's
Builder.
like very, very broad-shouldered, very muscled. He gives Arca a big old hug and says, "Oh, it's good to see you again, Arca. How's it going? How have you been?"
I have been on the craziest ride, honestly. Got accused of regicide.
So I've heard. I heard it come out, and I knew it couldn't be true. I mean, regicide, really.
Arca wouldn't go.
No, you would
through
never.
The side down. She'd just bust the door down. He would bust the door down and just. He would just destroy everyone.
We found out that something weird is going on with the Swift Cloaks, and they may be involved. So, given that you used to be a Swift Cloak, we were wondering if you could, give us some info?
He heaves a sigh. He's like, yeah, come sit. I think I've got a few chairs or sitting spots around here. And he'll pull out a couple of chairs that they're kind of made of rough wood. Like he's probably just made them, but he hasn't finished them yet. Pulls up some chairs, probably pulls over a log of wood he had sitting on the ground.
He just pulls over a whole tree.
Yeah, as you do.
What we found out is that the person who we believe is responsible, Sturkin, we found evidence that he's been working with the Crows and the Swift Cloaks, and they've supposedly been seen also discussing together even.
See, that's certainly a lot. I mean, I can tell you whatever you'd like about the Swift Cloaks. There's rather close to Famaya as well. Shame about what happened.
Yeah. And here Arca will kind of look towards Taffy because he knows Taffy knows about the leadership switch.
Okay.
And how that might be involved.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So with that, Taffy, he puts on his award-winning smile, does a little bow, and is like, sir, yes, I am Taffy of the Padlock Guild. And he goes to shake Rob's hand, which, of course, the second he grabs it, it probably gets his hand absolutely crushed.
He tries to be gentle, but yes, he's like, "Oh, the Padlock Guild, I've heard some good things about you guys."
This guy must be protected at all costs. Oh my god, as someone who's heard of the Padlock Guild.
Yeah.
right?
This makes Taffy's just ecstatic even through the pain. But he's got this odd feeling of like, holy shit, someone knows the Padlock Guild finally at the same time while his hand is being destroyed. Protect, man. He's like, yes, real unfortunate that is. Surely you've heard the Swiftcloaks hadn't always been this way. Had you happened to hear of their old leader? As I recall, they went through a bit of a leadership change. I believe her name was Femea, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Femaya. She was a good guild master, led the guild for some time. I was part of the Swiftcloaks just before she took charge. She knew how to run it. She was very upstanding, very respected across Lyrid. From what I heard, apparently she was escorting. Who was it? He strokes at his mustache and thought. I think, in fact, she had taken on a job to escort the Royal Duke, actually, shortly after King Arduke's death. Supposedly, the Duke wanted to get out of Valgard for a while, mourning, understandably. And when his carriage was set upon by thieves, and supposedly Femaya died in the attack. Of course, I heard, and shortly after, some Captain Redsteel took over. I never saw the guy. I have no idea anything about him, but things certainly changed after that. Those are the reasons why I ended up leaving.
Ooh, I have a few questions. Taffy's got one of his eyebrows is just raised. I have a few questions. Maybe move a little bit more into your shop. I would prefer not to be overheard, if that's all right.
Yes, please. Come on in. We can go inside. And he'll, motion for everyone to follow him as he'll take you into the back of the shop where, at the very back, you can see past all of the wood and all of his tools, there's a little staircase that goes up into a little second story area. And so he'll lead you guys upstairs if you follow him, which will open up into a whole second floor that you have to walk through a little door, and it's like the inside of a little 2 or 3 bedroom, 3 room house, excuse me. He's probably got a little dining table set up where he's got some chairs, and he says, here, sit, have a seat. We can talk a little more privately here.
Thank you, sir, thank you. Real quick, as we're entering, can Taffy go and take a real quick look? How secured is his little room up here?
He's got a standard lock on the door. There aren't very many windows. What windows are there are small, but it doesn't look like they open.
Okay.
Or if they do, it's not by very much.
Okay.
Just a little standard locking on the door.
Nothing that looks like it's from Gnome Land Security, right?
No, absolutely no.
Okay. So he he continues on all right. So he looks at looks around the room at his fellow companions. He's like, all right, what I'm about to tell you is should probably not leave this room, but I can guarantee that Femaya is still in fact alive.
Is she?
She is indeed, and I was curious who might spread rumors of her demise.
Well, thanks for a moment. I know there were a couple of others on the mission with her. Oh, what were their names? They're 2 humans. They were rather newer to the guild. One was a woman, Malayla, I believe.
Malayla, okay.
Yeah, the woman, dark curly hair, rather short of stature. The other was some friend of hers. I believe they joined at the same time. Name of Zadu. Another human, broad-shouldered, kind of almost like me. He's got darker skin, brown hair. Didn't usually speak a lot. I never really got along with the guy. Next thing I know, Malayla and Zadun are telling us, oh, the new guild master is Captain Redsteel. And never saw the guy, never saw him around. I have no idea what he even looks like.
Oh, that's not good. How long were you in the guild after Redsteel took over?
About a year. I've always done woodworking on the side, and after all the changes that were being made, I decided I'd just take up the carpentry full time.
And what kind of changes were those?
Mostly the money. Seems that he wanted us to higher our prices to make more money for the guild, whereas most of it never got into our pockets. Workers, that is.
Eat the rich.
I agree.
Exactly. There you go.
I do have one question about what you just discussed. Why did the Duke leave, as soon as his own brother died? I don't know, I feel like he'd probably want to stick around
Thank
maybe
you,
more
Arca.
for a bit.
Thank you. Screaming into my hands.
Rob shrugs his shoulders, I don't know. It seems as soon as the funeral was over, he was leaving town.
Oh.
Oh.
I don't want to okay, I guess we're in a safe spot anyway, but that really strikes me as odd because I don't know, his brother dies and then he gets attacked in some attack, but apparently the Swiftcloak leader dies but doesn't actually die.
Runarian, beside
Rob,
Arca, is
yeah.
nodding his head in agreement.
It seems weird and a bit too much of a coincidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
I certainly think so, as Ari will finally speak up. I always thought the Duke was a little strange, especially, now that you've mentioned it, Rob, I do recall seeing him leave the city not long after his brother's funeral, and I always thought it strange that he wouldn't stick around to, support his sister-in-law, Her Highness, or her children, who I know were all very shook up over the ordeal. He turns to Arca and kind of looks over at Taffy, looks at Yuli. He's like, this is why I feel investigating the Duke is probably worthwhile. Something just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I would back you up on that. I don't know how we'd get to investigate a member of the royal house, but...
Well, you are looking at someone who can get us in the nobles district easily enough. And I knew he... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Taffy kind of bonks his head against a wall in distress, and he's like, I know someone who could probably get us close to the Duke.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, it's that Dragonborn I mentioned earlier. He's all into arts and stuff. I'm sure he knows plenty of, schmoozing and doozing higher-ups.
The fainting guy?
The fainting guy, yep, that guy.
Oh, Lord Flaming! Yes, I'm quite aware of him. He's an odd fellow, but nice enough. I suppose it is worth asking him as well. Perhaps with him and myself, we could get an audience with the Duke. Get permission into his home, perhaps.
That would be awesome.
But it was good to meet you again, Rob.
Yeah, likewise. Always nice to see a friendly face around here. You hear a quiet voice saying, Rob, are you there? And Taffy, you'll recognize this voice.
Oh no.
Someone you haven't heard in a while.
Oh no. Of all the times.
Right at that moment, across town.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a
Right.
Cliffhanger.
Huh?
The cliffhanger.
the cliffhanger.
Yeah, I gotta leave you guys on the edge of your
Yeah,
seat, you know?
So true.
He's gonna lead you guys all the way down to the other end to this little, like, rickety shack at the very end of the pier. Looks like it's held together by, like, glue in a dream at this point. And he'll, like, look between the three of you and say, give me a minute. And then he'll, like, kneel down, takes out a little, like, lockpick or two, and starts to kind of work on getting the lock off of the door.
Marcellus will kind of turn, like, with his back toward Imran, kind of trying to give him some kind of, shade, being taller than Imran, giving him, like, some cover. Kind of looking at Tove and Yavari, like, so you have a plan if something goes wrong? I don't know, we walk inside and it explodes.
Fire.
We'll deal with them when we get to that point. I have burning hands.
I have burning hands.
Okay, great.
The solution to everything. Burning hands.
Imran, he's gonna turn on.
Yeah.
There are lights in here, right?
Not really. I mean, there's like a couple of windows, but it might be like a little dim.
Alright, Tove, maybe you should stick close to me or Yavari.
That sounds like a good idea. Except, I do have candles.
Great, Tove. That's fantastic.
She's gonna
Candles are scented.
pull out a candle in her matches and just start
I
lighting.
love that Arson is just getting a step closer each time we play this game.
Marcellus will kind of turn back to Imran with, how long does it take to get a door open?
Almost got it.
And just burn it down.
No! Don't do that, you're gonna catch the whole place on fire. Like half the fishing district.
Fine.
And as you guys are standing there for a moment, Nurse Shellis, you will notice. Actually, what are you all doing? Like, are you kind of watching Imran? Are you looking around? Should ask that first.
Tova's currently trying to light a candle, so
Yeah.
0 perception.
Real quick, can Narcellus please reach over and use Fireball to light this fucking candle for Tove?
Sure.
Thank you.
So Jo just looks at him and she's like, she doesn't say anything, but it's very obvious. She sort of wishes she could have lit it first.
Aww.
Oh. Why you weren't for fun like that, Narshalis? You know, what a light of a candle.
She was struggling.
Not really good with matches.
Fine, next time I'll let you go through an entire box of matches first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you're kind of looking, you catch what appears to be glimpse of the guy that was just looking at you guys, kind of over by the stalls over here.
Mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
But he just seems to be looking at the produce. Definitely not looking at you guys at all.
Yavara's gonna straight up look at this person. Just straight up stare.
Oh boy.
Meanwhile, behind you, you hear Imran. Okay, I got it open. Okay?
Yeah. Everyone, hurry up and get inside.
Alright, come on.
Get in.
Go
Go,
over
like-
your candle. Let's go.
We're going inside with a candle.
He'll, like, motion you guys inside, unless you want to stay outside.
No.
Narcellis will dip inside.
Can Tove cast, it's a cantrip, I'm pretty sure, speak with animals and talk to Yavari's mouse? Well, would you mind if maybe you could sort of hang outside and sort of keep watch for us? So if anybody tries to come over here, you can just, come and let us know?
Sure, anything for a pretty lady.
Alright, so as you enter into this dusty old shack on the pier, it's very dark. There's only like 1 or 2 windows in the room that you enter in, and they are covered in like dust and grime from not being cleaned for God knows how long. So very little of the natural light is filtering through from outside. In this initial room you guys walk into, you see there's like a couple of very old and very chewed apart sofas and chairs, as well as like a couple of closed barrels. And the very back of the room holds a set of double doors that lead further into this little space.
Okay, so what can Narcellis immediately see in front of him?
Really nothing of interest. There's the sofa and the chair. There's a chair over here. You see there's like this old, rowboat that looks like it's definitely seen better days. And then, yeah, these doors are like currently closed at the moment.
Okay. He will turn towards Imran and he will say, God, this is where you're conducting your business?
Yeah, it's usually very discreet and no one really looks twice at this place.
There is nothing discreet about this interior.
No, it's usually just a storage shed. I don't know what you want me to tell you. The first thing you can notice immediately is like straight down ahead of you on the farthest wall, there's a locked chest sitting on the floor. And then there's another one to your left that's kind of like half tucked under a small table. That you almost miss at first, but you probably managed to find it thanks to like the gleam of the very dim sunlight on the metal lock that's keeping it shut. Otherwise, there's like some open, empty crates in the room as well.
I think Yavari is going to take the most interest in the chest that is being kind of tucked underneath the table.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, very, very interesting. And she's gonna, like, is it heavy? Because she's gonna try to, like, pull it out from under the table just to feel its weight and see how complicated the lock is.
It is fairly heavy, and as you pull it out, you hear a lot of what sounds like metal on metal, almost like there's maybe metal bars, or you're not sure if there's like maybe weapons in here, but kind of like the noise you hear as you drag it out from under the table. As for the lock, it looks like a pretty standard padlock, not a padlock guild padlock, but just like a standard padlock lock.
Yavari is gonna try to open up the chest.
Okay, how are you going to try and open it?
Yavari has She's gonna use one of her throwing daggers of returning.
Dexterity check.
Come on. Come on.
Come on. Oh.
Damn.
Oh,
So you sit there messing with the lock for a minute, but it seems it is stronger than your dagger.
Yavari kicks it.
It is kicked.
Like,
job.
damn it.
And then Urshellis and Tove, you guys can like hear this from the other room as she kicks something that sounds, very sturdy wooden sound. But you probably also hear like some metal like shifting around as it moves.
Urshellis will move into the room. And we'll just say, "What the hell are you doing?"
I try to open up the damn chest. So I kicked it.
He comes over and he says, "Let me see it."
She's gonna move aside so he can take a look at it and of just look at the other ones.
He will lean down here, and I'd like him to try to use Firebolt to melt this lock.
Sure. Yeah, you use Firebolt, go ahead and roll a 1d10 for me. You use Firebolt, you heat up the lock, it's very hot now.
Alright, you know what, with that, can he use sabers on it?
Sure, to just, like, try and break it off?
Now
or?
that it's super hot, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you take your saber, and you, like, slice into it, and the lock just, like, comes off without a problem. Well, the heated metal just makes it very pliable.
He'll look over his shoulder as he leans down and says, "Got an open, Yavari, if you'd like to come take a look."
Yavari is gonna quickly come back and be like, "Okay, what? Oh, Calvin Urshellis. Sorry, Urshellis. Okay, we're gonna do
fine.
that."
just step over him.
Stepping on his shoes.
So inside, as you open it, there are indeed weapons. You see there's like a couple of short swords, probably like a small hand axe, few like throwing knives, and you see buried within all of this is a dagger that you will recognize, you Urshellis will recognize as Drow in design. It has, a very sleek, like, black blade on it. The hilt is wrapped in, like, black leather, and it even has kind of almost a little, like, spider design and, like, metal on the hilt where it meets the blade. Like, not your family symbol, just kind of a spider.
Yeah. So immediately he's going to reach down and take this and lift it up to his eyes. I do want to ask, can he tell, like, where it, like, how do you, can he tell, or can I roll for it to see if he might know, like, what part of the Underdark it's from, if it's a specific style?
Sure, roll an insight check for me. Do that one. 15. Nice. Yeah, so you look the dagger over, and considering, when you were younger, and your older brother used to take you out a lot with him into the city and visit a particular blacksmith, you kind of recognize this blade seems very much her style.
Oh, God. Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay. Marcellus is just going to look at it and he's just gonna say, fuck.
Oh.
Ivari's gonna look over at him and go, You good? You okay?
Kaz not making this. And I'm just trying to look at the other two like, we need to find that venom now.
So you stick your dagger in this lock, you wiggle it around. You're not sure if you've ever done this before, but somehow you figure it out and you pop that lock right open.
So,
Okay. So I guess we're gonna open the chest and see what's inside.
Right, yeah, you open the chest and inside you see appears to just be a layer of black cloth.
Okay. Oh, okay, Taupe's gonna reach in there and try and see what's under the black cloth.
All right, you reach in, feeling around, and you find your hand touches on a leather pouch.
Oh no!
And as you're pulling it out of the crate, from behind you, you hear the sudden scuttling noise. As I don't know if either of you would turn around. There's a mouse coming into the room.
Ivari immediately looks behind her.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Nibbles?
Nibbles
Oh no!
comes around.
Nibbles is somebody coming this way?
And Nibbles runs up to you guys, probably tries to jump into Yavari's arms or up her leg.
Yeah. Ivari immediately reaches down, picks up Nibbles, and puts him back into her hood.
The people coming. You might wanna go.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Shit, we gotta hide.
Marcellus
We gotta hide.
is going to swing over to this chest and just say, what did you find?
And Toe's gonna hold up the pouch.
Can he quickly reach into it and just see what he finds?
Yeah, you reach in, and your hand will find a glass vial in there. And if you, I don't know if do you pull it out to look at it?
Yeah.
You pull it out, and yeah, sure enough, it is a glass vial, about big enough to fit in the palm of his hand, corked with probably a proper little iron cap that's held down onto this thing to keep it from easily popping open. And it is filled with rather thick black liquid.
Great. Fantastic.
Yay! We found it!
So glad we didn't Eldritch Blast.
Looking back to Yavari, he'll just be like, actually, no, I agree with Yavari. Hide.
Okay.
What? That room. Here. Come here. Is this door open, by the way? This one right here?
Yeah, you push on it and it swings right open. Inside you just see a couple of crates and a half-open chest that appears empty.
Yavari's gonna hide right here.
I'm just gonna go in the room.
Marcellus will grab hold of Tobe and just drag her into this room if she's not moving fast enough.
All right, we're hiding in the room now.
He will shut the door and just sort of lean against it to listen.
Yeah. And then as you guys hide in the room, you hear the door of the shack open. And you hear a few footsteps come inside. And you can't quite hear their voices. You hear two, but they're talking low enough that you guys can't quite hear them from where you are. As they make their way further into the shack. You don't hear Imran's voice, though, at the moment.
Oh no.
You
Wait,
hear them.
Tove's gonna blow out her candle.
Good plan.
That's a good plan.
Probably
good. Yeah, there
Probably
we go.
good. Yeah, you hear, footsteps getting closer and closer, and you hear a woman's voice say, "How'd they go? I saw them all walk in here." And then you hear a guy's voice say, "Check everything. It looks they just left." You hear them start to kind of rummage around just outside of the door. And
Well, Narcellus will turn toward Yubari and Tove, and making eye contact with Yubari, he's going to very slowly lift the saber up that he was holding. He's going to use his other hand to press his finger up to his lips and motion toward the door.
Yuvari seems to understand what he's trying to get at, and quietly, as quiet as she possibly can, pulls out her dagger.
He just nods and very, very slowly takes a step toward the door. It's like moving at half speed.
mhm.
And he'll grab hold of the knob and he'll motion Yubari toward him.
Like as you
Yuvari's
guys...
gonna step. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Oh, sorry. Yuvari is going to step just a little bit closer, ready for whatever is about to happen.
No.
Tove, you want to do anything? Oh, go, sorry.
No, is Tove,
Oh.
Tove doing anything?
Well, okay, does Narcella still have the Drider Venom?
Yep.
Okay, she's going to reach out a hand and motion for him to give it to her.
And he will. And he'll give her like this serious wide-eyed look and sort of motion with his hand like, be careful.
Okay, and then she's going to take... Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea. Okay, she's just going to take it and put it into her bag of holding.
He's gonna immediately shake his head and go, no. He doesn't say it, but he's like,
Okay, never mind. She's just gonna hold on to the Drider Venom.
oh,
No, do it. Come on, put it in there. See what happens.
Yeah.
The panic silence of like aggressive
Okay,
head shaking.
Tova's just gonna like freeze and then just hold on to the Drider Venom.
he gives her this kind of like pleading look, like, yes, okay, good. And then he'll motion Yubari over, and holding his sword up, he will, as quickly as he can, open the door and hope to surprise whoever the hell it is and just step out.
Okay, you're just stepping out. You're not doing anything.
Nope.
All right, and as you guys were in there, you hear, like, as you're all kind of having your little discussion, you hear them both talking to themselves like, "They were already here. They took everything." And
Yeah, boy.
as you step out, the guy turns around and immediately like withdraws his short sword. It's like, "Who the hell are you?" Like the woman will kind of do the same as she like takes out a sword of her own.
Well, wouldn't you like to know? He just sort of looks back at Yubari like, you got any spells you can cast?
Give me 1 second. Hold on.
We don't really have a second.
Okay,
Yubari takes out wizard book, starts flipping through it.
Wizarding 101.
wait, hold on. I'm so sorry to this shed. I really
no.
Here come the burning hands.
but Yubari is actually going to use Burning Hand.
Oh no!
If Tove dies in here.
Wait, hold on. Actually, I keep on. You know what?
Just do it. Just do
You know
it.
what? Fuck it. We're doing
I'm gonna
burning
burn
hands.
down the whole damn fishing district.
Oh no!
You know what? I'm so sorry.
Do it. Chat
I'm
wants
gonna
it.
do-
When Fowlin's house is gone, you have to answer for it.
You know, we'll build him a new one. It's fine.
It's a 15-foot cone of
Chaos.
fire. Wow.
Yeah, so she's gonna cast burning hands on this guy here.
Okay.
That's not how burning hands work.
It's going to burn Marcellus to a crisp.
Hold on,
Take
this
it back. Take it back.
fucking idea.
Back.
Sacrifices must be made.
Oh my god!
I hope you have a second. I hope you have a second character
Oh,
sheet
yes.
on you.
Oh my fucking
Take it
God.
back. Take it back.
No.
Actually, she is going to use suggestion on.
That's a good
Oh,
one.
come on.
I like
That's
that.
great.
Oh,
No, it's also great. Flaming hands.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm gonna use suggestion on this guy here. That's closest to us.
Okay. Let's see.
But burning hands.
But I don't want to burn down poor people's houses. They already got it rough. I need you to distract your little friend by any means necessary. We can escape and get out of here.
And he looks at you for a long moment. And like tilts his head like he's really confused. And then he looks at the woman next to him and she's looking at him like, what are you doing, Saturn? Just got them. And he's like, no, I have to distract you so they can leave. She's like, what? And immediately, like,
for us. Thank you.
immediately she'll like go over to him and like grab his shoulder and be like, no, Saturn, come on, snap out of it. And he'll just be like, no, I must do this. And
I
he'll
must
just like
do this.
grab her by like the wrists and hold her there as she's like kicking at him like, let me the fuck go. They are taking the venom, you dumbass.
You dumbass.
As you guys are leaving, you hear her shouting like, I knew we shouldn't have trusted that ash skin.
Oh,
no.
Marcellus is going to stick to a fucking hole.
Wait, hold on.
He
We're
is
going
going
back
to
now.
back. And he's going to turn towards them and say, I'm sorry.
Get him.
Trust who?
Get him.
Get him.
I don't know his name. Some dirty little drow Starkin did deal with.
Would
Okay,
his
Marcellus,
name
look him up.
happen to be Imran?
I don't fucking know.
Oh my god.
And turning towards Ivari, he's pissed. He's.
You want to fuck him up?
I'm gonna fuck him up. And he's just running out into the other room.
Oh, right.
And as you come into the room, you do not see Imran anywhere.
He is going. Oh. He stands there for a minute, and you just hear Imran. Imran. Does he get a
gone.
response?
It's very quiet for a long moment, and you hear like a voice speak up from like the corner of the room over here, like, yeah.
Get out here.
Oh god.
Mm.
I don't think I want to.
Get out here.
I really don't think we have time for this.
You'll see, you guys will watch as, like, the shadows in the corner of the room seem to kind of, like, unfold and, like, meld together as, like, Imran takes shape out of them again, and he's just half hiding behind the sofa arm. Hi.
And he's going to point toward the door, and he's going to say, outside now.
Okay.
Hey.
He's just going to quickly
I
run
can-
out the door.
I can hear
And he
it.
will follow.
We're all going out.
Yep.
And, okay.
Yeah, you come outside with Imran.
And,
He's
go ahead.
he's very nervous at the moment, just kind of like fidgeting with his hands. Not meeting Narcellus's gaze.
Narcellus is going to step forward, and he's going to wrap his hands in that ugly purple poncho, and he's going to lift this man off the ground, up into his face.
Listen, Narcellus.
You know, I should have expected it.
Listen, they threatened me multiple times, okay? I didn't know what...
What, that they were going to come in and try to kill me?
No,
I saw them on the docks, and I asked you if there was anyone that we should have been wary of.
I didn't see them. I didn't.
Don't lie to me.
Oh my god.
And setting him down slowly.
He's got like a belt around his waist. Like other than his clothes, he's got like a belt around his waist. He has like probably a pouch or two on one side, and on the other side you can just see like the hilt of a dagger poking out.
Can he reach for it and take it?
Yeah, Imran won't stop you. So you reach and take it, and sure enough, looking it over, it looks like an exact twin to the dagger you found inside the shack.
So he'll hold it up, like the replica. He'll hold it up because he's still got that. And he'll just kind of cock his head at Imran, and then taking both of them, he will hold them out to Yuvari for a second. Will she take?
Yeah, Yuvari will hold them for him.
He's going to punch him in the face.
Yeah,
Boy.
you deck him right in the face until when he like staggers aside and like holds his face where you hit him. It's like ow, ow, ow.
Imran, any bond that you held to my brother is dead.
Oh my god.
Point down the pier and he'll say, if I ever see you again, I will kill you.
Hey,
Oh.
please have my dagger back. Why'd you take it?
To make sure that another one just like it doesn't end up with yet another vial of Drider venom. And since you're such a fucking coward, you're not gonna need it anyway.
Hey, all right.
Oh.
You know what? I'm
Now.
just
Good time to
Yes,
ask him.
leave.
gonna go. He's just gonna like look nervously between you all and then just vanish into the shadows.
Narcellus is shaking. He is pissed.
Yeah, you guys will just start heading on down the road. You know, Temple is looming way down there at the end of the road in front of you guys as you make your way back across the city. Rob, are you home?
Taffy doesn't say a word. He's frozen.
Robert himself will suddenly stand up with like the shocked look on his face and say, Famaya?
Oh no.
He'll quickly go to the door. You know, he'll quickly undoing, you know, whatever lock there might be on it if Taffy had said it. and he will open the door without even a second thought. And sure enough, standing there in the doorway is a tiefling, with very like rust-colored skin and black hair she has in a braid over one shoulder. She's dressed in like a fairly simple blue tunic with like some iron greaves and boots on. And Taffy, you'll recognize her as the tiefling that you helped free in Drakemound.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Rob immediately. Yeah. He's just standing there, fur bristling.
Yeah, his fur is bristling. Tail just shot straight out.
Poor Taffy. Immediately, Rob will open his arms and say, "Famaya!" And he'll grab her up in a bear hug, as much like he did Arca. And Famaya will be like, "Oh, Rob, it's good to see you too. Oh, God, you haven't gotten any weaker. Oh,
I love this man. I love this man."
Same.
He'll soon set her down, and she's like, "Oh God, I thought I was gonna break a rib." So I thought you were dead. I have actually, I think you all might like to meet each other. As he looks back to Taffy and Arca in the room. I think this is quite good timing, in fact.
Yeah. Talk about a coincidence.
Yes, Famaya, please come in. And he'll, welcome her into his home, and she'll see Taffy standing there. She's like, "Oh, hey."
Yes. So Taffy immediately goes over and grabs her hands in a shake, and he starts using Thieves' Cant, praying to whatever God's listening that she picks up on it. And he specifically says, yes, yeah, you remember me, I'm Taffy, yeah, I helped you out in that little jam you had with those unscrupulous fellows out in the forest, if you remember correctly." He's sort of almost saying it right through his teeth.
Yeah, I remember something about that.
And specifically with Thieves' Cant, he is using jam in a way that's like, I helped you out, go along with whatever story I'm telling. Actually, that we could use your help. We're sort of in a situation ourselves, and it just so happens to involve your, shadow cloaks. They may be caught up in a little bit of a conspiracy to, start an entire war, with the Drow. Sorry, there's a shadow. Stormcloaks, not shadow cloaks.
Swift cloaks.
Swift cloaks. I got there. It started with an S.
you were getting there. It's okay.
Essentially, we have reason to believe that the Swift Cloaks are part of a plot to kill the Queen. They've been consorting with the Crows, and they've been, and one of their members, Sturken, is like kind of our lead-in to this whole thing. So we know like he's the one who like tried to kill the Queen first, but like he's also connected with the Crows, and the Swift Cloaks also seem to be part of it, and it is all very suspicious. And yeah, so we'd like some information on this.
My Swift Cloaks are being used to try to kill the Queen? What in the world? Goes against everything this guild stands for. Oh, I already feel a headache coming on.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate.
Understandable.
You mentioned the Crows, was it?
Yeah. Do you know anything about them, or have it be like?
They've been has came up once or twice years ago now. I think rumor had it they were involved in the murder of a merchant or two in Valgard, and we were trying to help protect at the time. Very sneaky, that plot, and regicide. That's royal mess, it sounds like.
You could call it that.
How do you think they're connected now? Last I knew the Crows were some assassination group, but there's no way they'd be affiliated with my guild.
So at that, he pulls out the note that they, or the information, the note, the letters that they found at Sturkin's place, and he sort of hands them over to Famaya. I was like, well, unfortunately, I don't know if you know a man named Sturkin. Does that ring any bells?
Can't say it does. And she starts to kind of like shift through the stuff you gave her.
Like, well, it seems that he needed maybe a scapegoat or something, but we originally thought we were guarding him to Valgard, but it turns out he had some nefarious plots, and we ended up getting framed for murder and, assassination. And then as we investigated, we found what you're reading through right now. We don't know how far down it goes, and we're still collecting evidence and trying to piece this puzzle together, but we're hoping to stop it before it gets out of hand, as it were.
She's like looking over the letter that had been signed by Captain Redsteel, and she looks at it. And she like brings it close to her face and like narrows her eyes. She's like, so, very interesting. No, I've never heard of Sturkin. I'm not sure who that is, but where did you find this? She like holds up the letter.
That was in Sturkin's house, or at least one of his hideouts. At the very least, was booby trapped and everything.
I see. It's just odd because the signature reminds me of someone else's.
Oh.
Maybe it's just coincidence.
Oh.
And who might that be?
I mean, it's been years. I'd have to compare notes, but I swear that almost looks like the Duke's handwriting.
Oh. Taffy just
Parker
buries his hand.
looks and stares at Taffy, like wide-eyed.
It looks like
Ari is just like, I knew it!
I knew it. Taffy's like, oh, it was a thing. His brother's trying to tell. Oh my god. Why? How did this happen? How did we get involved in this?
Famaya will speak and say, well, so Rob, I've heard weird stories around. So what do people think happened to me exactly? Probably, story went that you and those two newbies you took with you apparently got attacked by a group of rogues or thieves or something. Fought them off best you could, and it said that you took mortal wounds. That the other two survived, as did the Duke. So that's the story they're spinning.
What
Fascinating.
actually happened?
So, I was delivered a letter from dear old Duke Gibberoth, and he was requesting that he have an escort of a few of my people to help him to some home he has just outside of Darkwood. I don't know
these nobles and their country homes. So I decided, being he was essential royalty, that I would take him myself. And a couple of newbies we had that had just joined the guild maybe only a week or so prior were very insistent that they come with me. And I was very hesitant at first. I'd rather would have taken people more skilled or more experienced with me, some of my officers, but I decided, why not? It should be an easy enough job. Things have been quiet lately. Let them get their feet wet, So we leave. Just myself, the two of them, and the Duke in his carriage. And it wasn't long after we got into Darkwood, as we were taking a path through the trees, that all of a sudden we were stopped by two thieves out on the road, and I thought it was kind of funny, really. Two, what are they going to do? Next thing I know, two become four, as the two that I had taken with me turned their swords to me. I was just like, oh. Yes, it was rather unfortunate, and I like to say I'm quite skilled, but I'm not quite skilled enough to hold off four people on my own. Next thing I know, I'm knocked out, and I wake up in Drake Mountain's prison.
Oh
no! I was being charged with treason for attacking the Duke, and I was incredibly confused as to what was going on, but that Dragonborn wouldn't listen to a word I had to say.
Mention the prison. Oh.
And so I've been there 5 years.
Dang, they kept you that long? Trying to, nonchalantly...
Yeah, it didn't feel like that long, and then after I got out, realized a lot of time had passed.
He kind of interjects a little bit. He's like, so, did you happen to know of a member in your guild called Red Steel? Like a Captain Red Steel?
No, certainly not, unless one of my officers decided to take some pseudonym as their name. Wait, you don't think something weird happened with the king, do you?
Taffy's got his face buried in his paws.
No. There's a pattern.
How did we get boy?
So Taffy does kind of he kind of through muffled, he's muffled because he's talking into his hands, but he's like, if I had given what we know, the pieces we have in play, it sounds like the Duke is making a power play. He probably killed the king and then tried to get out of town to give himself a... Yeah, it's a little, you hear this sort of thing in stories, but yeah, guess what? We're living in one right now. The skipped town to try and have an alibi, got the crows involved. They're using the swift cloaks as a front, and now he's trying to start a war with the drow by framing them, assuming Nars and his team, my bad, excuse me, found evidence, which if they did, oh.
Ari's just nodding his head, yeah. We should maybe we should try to meet up with them first before we start investigating the Duke. I think it's getting rather late as well. It might be better we rest for the night.
Sounds like a plan.
So it's starting to get a little quieter, but you still hear,
lots of music drifting about, especially from the tavern just a little ways down the road. And as you guys come out, you see Narcellis, Tove, and Yavari seem to be kind of coming your way.
Oh,
You guys have all been reunited once more.
It's fine. One of my friends just betrayed me, but I'm fine.
Taffy freezes a bit. He's like, wait. And he stops. He looks around. Wait, that... What?
Imran is not trustworthy.
Oh.
Ari
Yeah.
gives a small sigh.
Look, you can yell at me for trusting him later, okay?
No one's gonna yell at you.
Yeah, I think that was hard enough as it was.
You guys approach the Kiraniel estate, and I assume, Runarian will probably just lead the way, as he will just open the front door without knocking. He'll call in, Lauren, father! Trying to call for someone who might be in. You guys enter into what is a fairly nice house. It's very big on the outside, and as you come in, everything is made of either wood or like white stone or green, whatever. Very heavily like forest themed, with like leaves all over the place and kind of in the furniture and the fabric that covers like a couple of couches that are in the main kind of almost foyer area. Foyer, I think is the word I'm actually looking for. Foyer. See you all again. Arian said you had much to talk about.
Yeah, actually, if you don't mind, and he just like holds up the vial, he's like, I feel really uncomfortable holding this.
Oh, is that...
Yeah!
It's
He'll-
the thing.
He'll reach out, gently take it as he holds it in his hand.
He holds up a finger. He's like, he reaches into his belt. He pulls out both daggers.
Oh my
He
god.
holds them by the blade. He's like, these were with it.
These were with it.
Both of them. He takes the daggers.
The other one might have been on Imran.
I'm sorry.
Taffy just tenses. He's like, yep.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
Anyway, he's not with us right now.
Arca just blurts out, there is no Captain Redsteel.
Oh god.
The dude is trying to kill the queen.
I'm sorry.
Arca, you are the
Right.
master of subtlety.
Royal Duke Gibroth Yorzia is trying to kill Your Highness?
Yes. And I'm like,
It would appear so.
Okay.
Through muffled paws in the corner while Taffy's just staring at the floor.
Still screaming.
Still screaming. I don't suppose at this point we have enough evidence to incriminate the Duke, do we?
Well, what exactly do you have to link him? I need solid evidence.
Then the next step, of course of action, would be to try and acquire a few damning objects from his place of dwelling in a maybe not quite so official way.
Oh, Taffy, do we have to break into another manor?
It sure does sound like that, but hey, look at it this way. At least we got some practice in.
Oh, shut up! I am not getting dragged into another basement for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm saying it.
Fair enough.
And yet, I somehow feel like that is not going to be the last time, actually.
Oh.
Shut up.
What if we planted the poison in his home, and we get your detective friend to come investigate and find said poison. Would that incriminate him?
Baldwin looking between them all, like, I know I'm not hearing this right now.
Can you guys stop trying to get me thrown back in prison? That'd be great.
Let's just pretend that never happened. Just backtrack.
Listen, if you can find something with writing on it, I can compare it to whatever other note you had that incriminates him hiring the crows, or we still haven't found Sturgeon yet, so there's that matter as well.
Yeah, and I kind of don't have Emery anymore, so that's a problem.
Yes.
I mean, the little bastard, really, is he that useful?
I mean, I can't unpunch his face, so...
This is true. This is so true.
I have a thought.
Poison.
Okay, not quite
What
that
was
thought.
Taffy?
What if, I'm an agent of the Padlock Guild, and technically I'm here on official business. Perhaps I could convince him to, give him the sales pitch, and that would give me plenty of cause to go through his house, improving his locks.
Taffy, I don't know if you've noticed, but every single person you've asked in this town has used no land security.
Yes, but they don't have Padlock Guild security. The superior security. Listen, I can sell it to him. I can get in there. I can convince him. I don't even need. Maybe he doesn't even really need to buy it. I just need to convince him to let me look over his locks.
If I may, General, may I use you as an example? Taffy, try to sell a padlock to General Valpolden.
All right, General. I assume you use Gnomeland security.
I don't, in fact.
Oh. Well, that makes this even easier. Does he have a window nearby?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Does he have a window nearby?
Yeah, there's probably quite a few windows in the house. I imagine most of them, they're usually open, but right now it seems they're all shut. But yeah, there's like a couple on like the wall to your side.
Do any of them have a locking mechanism?
Yeah, I mean, you look at a couple of them, and they do appear to have just like some very simple locks on the windows, just to mostly like latch them shut.
Okay, so he's gonna go to the window. He's gonna, make sure it's shut, latch it, make sure that he demonstrates that he can't open it while it's latched. And then, what would I need to do to basically break this lock? As a matter of fact, we'll even climb through the window to get outside, then make sure it's closed and mention wave over Tove or someone to come lock the window.
Tove is not getting involved in breaking General Baldwin's window.
Let's find out Darshallus will go lock it for him. He'll do it. Agent of Chaos, let's go.
Perfect.
Oh no.
And then he'll go and what do you need me to do to basically demonstrate that this lock is garbage and that Taffy could easily just break in?
I mean, at that point, I guess you're just
doing.
Are you going to force it open, or are you going to try and finesse it open?
He's going to finesse it open.
Okay.
He'll whip out his thieves' tools and everything.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a
Okay.
a sleight of hand. I don't know.
Oh, a sleight of hand? Oh. Okay.
Wait, maybe.
Okay. 'Cause if it's lockpicking, it would be just a dex check.
Does it seem kind of like the lock is on the inside?
Yeah, so he's gonna use his thieves' tools to slip in between cracks and
Okay.
unjiggle the latch.
A dex check, alright.
Okay. So since he's using his thieves' tools, I get my proficiency bonus with it, and he's gonna use his Anima shard.
Okay.
Since So this is a this will be at a +3 because I can't do a dex check and add my proficiency bonus into it.
All right, yeah.
Oh dang! Well, it's a 19 either way. Good job, Anima Shard.
Nice job. Yeah, so you fairly easily, fairly skillfully, use your thieves' tools, and you make very quick work of that window lock to then reopen it once more from the outside.
So he opens it, fairly quickly. Whips his thieves' tools out, slides them in, unlatches it, pulls them back out, puts it it takes him seconds. And then he pops the window open, climbs back in, shuts the window, turns to, spins around, turns to the general. It's like, General, as a professional and a agent of the Padlock Guild, after thoroughly testing and inspecting your current estate's security, I would highly advise that you invest in some, as you can see, proper locking mechanisms. Imagine if I was someone who was quite unscrupulous here to pilfer your hard-earned goods or your treasures. That would be not great. So if you would, and we offer quite good rates at the same time.
Are you able to give an example of one of your guild's locks?
Oh god, please don't buy one from him.
But
He's got his face. He's just got his face in his hands. Like, no.
So, and if you allow me, you don't have to. But he does. If he could pull out like a padlock lock.
Okay.
Okay. So actually, I have some of these written up that I haven't shared yet. But he walks up to the general and he pulls out a lock. Let's see, which one of these do I want to use? Let's use the trick lock. So he pulls out a lock with it, looks like a standard standard lock mechanism that can be integrated into a window or a door. It looks like it has a standard keyhole. And it's like, this here is a Padlock Guild patented trick lock. Now, as you can see, it has a keyhole here, and he pulls out a key, and it looks like it's a pretty sophisticated key. It's got edging in it and grooves and that sort of thing. Not quite typical of your standard fantasy key. The big steel looking rod with a couple of prongs off of it. And so he inserts it and he twists it, and of course the lock doesn't pop open. And it's like, as you can see here, this is our one of our trick lock models. The standard key, and of course any other nefarious tools that may be inserted into the keyhole, will not actually open this lock, at least with the key facing hole. And then he pulls out the key, and he basically, what he does is he spins the front plate about a quarter clockwise, and you hear this little click noise, and a small, another keyhole pops up at the bottom of the lock. It's like, as you can see here, the keyhole's actually hidden. So for instance, any would-be ne'er-do-well would waste their time on the fake keyhole, whereas the actual one, as he inserts the key in and turns it and the lock, of course, pops open, would, still keep your things quite secure and allow you access, while most people unfamiliar with the padlock, which, by the way, are, fairly well-guarded secrets aside from our clientele. And of course, our patented key design is typically rather difficult to lockpick.
He nods his head slowly as he's listening to Taffy's explanation. Very keenly focused on him. Says, that should work well enough on Duke of Roth. You might even sell him some.
Oh my god!
He's got the biggest smile on his face.
No.
You've got Yuvari convinced.
He slow spins around and just looks at the party he's got the biggest kitty grin on his face. How's that for a sales pitch?
That's
Arca of the logs.
Marcellus just has his fucking head in his hands. He's like, you've got to be goddamn joking me.
I am very good at my job.
I'll buy one.
No, Ivar. Ivar.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you and I have the same hair texture.
Uh-oh.
That we do. That we do.
You know, you look old enough to have a kid.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I think I could pass as a half-tiefling if I stuck a pair of horns to my head.
Yavari takes the biggest sigh. And she goes, yeah, we could pass as mother and son.
I'm so glad you're on board, Mom.
Oh.
Oh god.
No
What?
problem,
Actually,
son.
no, I can't say that. Oh, God.
Would you like to use my disguise kit?
I mean, I don't think I really need to change anything about myself. I just need something on top of my head.
He does a thumbs up, like, all right. Sounds like sounds like a plan to me.
Ugh, this is a disaster.
Yeah, most of the evening is just spent with one another, hanging out, unwinding, as you try to digest what all you guys have learned in your day here in Valgard. Taffy, as you drift off to sleep, you find your eyes opening to an odd scene, but one that you're familiar with, as you are floating out over what appears to be a large body of water.
Oh no.
And out before you, you see the large ports of Abydos, your hometown. You know, the large, sprawling capital city of Akhet. You can see the many buildings, you know, rising tall in the distance. You can see an airship or two flying through the sky. And you watch, and you see, out on the pier, you see elephants. A very rare sight, especially in Akhet, especially in Abydos of all places. But you've seen one or two before, so you recognize these creatures. You know, large, gray, wrinkled, with massive trunks and tusks. You count them, and you see 10 elephants. And you watch as the water just at the edge of the pier bubbles and boils and moves and creates waves as you see the water shifting and moving as something starts to come up out of it. And out of the water, you see the head of an elephant. But this elephant does not look very great. It has the gray and wrinkled skin, but it's clinging to its body in ways that it shouldn't. You know, it is very clearly deformed, and as its trunk raises, it's bent at odd angles as it heaves itself up onto the platform, one foot on top of the next. Oh god, there goes my phone.
He got so
this is
into it.
intense.
I really did. I really did. You know, one foot on top of the other. And this thing drags itself out of the water. You can see like every bone in its body just sticking out from it as its flesh is like clinging to bone. And not only does one elephant come up, but there's a second one, a third one. An elephant keeps rising out of the water onto the pier until you see another 10 have joined the original 10. But these the second set of 10 are just disgusting, and you know, you see a swarm of flies seem to be following after them, and right before your eyes you see these elephants, you know, jump at the ones that were there, these healthy, wonderful looking elephants, and you see their trunks grip onto them and are like snapping their limbs and biting into them and jabbing them with their tusks as the malnourished ones from the sea begin to eat the other ones. And that is when you wake up suddenly in a cold sweat
if anyone's listening, they hear a loud, angry cat meow. Just a very panicky cat noise.
Marcellus will turn over and look at him and just go, "What the hell are you doing?"
Just dead staring at the ceiling, like, nothing. It was just a bad dream.
Okay. Just immediately rolls over and goes back to sleep.
He's I don't know if Taffy would sleep the rest of the night.
You know what's
Yeah.
so fair?
Just processing what he just dreamed. He's never had dreams like that before. He's like, oh no.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just
a fur.
trying to reason with himself, like it's just a dream. It's just a dream. Just a nightmare. It's just a very weird, specific nightmare. Sort of, you know, as everyone's shambling down, he's gonna sort of catch Tove and say, "Hey, can I talk to you for like a second? You have a minute?"
Yeah, of course. And she'll just, I don't know if they're gonna like go to this side of a room or something, or.
Taffy will sort of hang back, you know, wait till everyone like goes downstairs. I mean, unless someone's gonna, you know, hang about, but he kind of asks Tove, you know, you're magical in some way, right? I saw you go into like the you know, you were interested in the church, right?
I mean, I wouldn't consider myself magical, but I do follow the Order of the Seven, so.
Oh, okay, so that's like a divine thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's the Order of the Seven, so it's the worship of seven gods, and so sure, yeah, divine.
Okay, and like, so I don't suppose, you know, forgive my ignorance here, but you know, none of the gods that you know of, they have nothing to do with elephants, do they? I know it's a weird, off-the-wall question, just, you know, it's curious.
And Toph will kind of like take a pause here and try and like, I don't know, think to the things that she knows. I don't know if anyone particularly has a connection to elephants, but why are you asking?
No reason. Just, you know, preparing for today. You know, as I read through random stuff, just happened to, you know, come across elephants, and was curious about elephants.
Okay, and Toph will kind of have like a quizzical expression on her face, like she doesn't totally believe what he's saying, but she just sort of, she'll leave it alone. She'll nod and she'll say, I'll do some digging and see what I can find. How about that?
Sure. Don't stress yourself out about it too much. It's fine. Nothing really. Just some curiosity. You know what they say? Curiosity killed the cat.
Oh my god. You're being so slick about this. You're being so slick.
Listen, he's a shook kitty right now.
Oh.
He do a shook. He's spooked.
And so we'll just sort of nod and say, all right. Well, if you have any more questions about the Order of the Seven or any of the gods, you know, I'm your gal.
Gotcha,
Finger
yeah.
guns.
Yeah, he finger guns back. Yeah. Let's go get some breakfast. And he just
I guess they go get breakfast, yeah.
he just kind of continues on downstairs. Trying to brush it off. He's like, okay, he's trying to refocus himself. He's like, I gotta get my head in the game. Just a dream. It was just a nightmare. It was just a one-time thing.
It's a stress, you know?
Yeah, it's the stress. It's the stress getting to him. It's no big deal. You just gotta brush it. He's gotta move with it. He's gonna roll with the punches. He'll be fine. It's
It's fine.
mildly stress hallucination nightmare dreams. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
As you guys all, as you go to join the rest of the party, you'll smell that there is the scent of food in the air. And as you kind of follow it into what looks to be kind of an informal dining room, set with like a small table that would seat probably about 8 people. You see there is fairly like nice array of food lined up for you guys for breakfast. Probably the rest of the party is already sat down to eat. There's all sorts of things from pancakes and rolls and croissants and pastries to some more meatier things like maybe some breakfast sausage or whatever else. Fruit is definitely on the table. All sorts of things for people to eat and pick upon. And you'll see at like one end of the table, Runarian and Nershellus are currently sitting across from one another, holding a hand of cards with a deck in between them. And Ari seems to be explaining to Nershellus, so essentially, you want to ask someone for a number. You're trying to make pairs of cards. You might want to ask me for a 3 because you have a 3, and if I have it, I'd give it to you. But if I don't, then I would tell you to go fish, and you draw a card from the deck.
Is Go Fish like the national game?
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. You ask first.
Oh, all right. And he'll look over his cards. You got any 2s?
He'll look down at his hand and say, "No."
Why did you say it like that?
Why did I say it like what? Did I not say it right?
You did not say it right. That's a penalty.
Oh, right. No, fish.
But no, just something about how you said no. I feel like I'm not sure I quite trust it.
Is this because I'm a drow?
No, of course not.
Well, then do your fishing.
Oh, very, very well. And he'll reach and take the top card from the deck.
Okay,
All
so
right.
now I ask you.
Right, great.
Okay. And he'll look down at his deck of cards. He'll pause. He'll just look at Ari.
Ari
And
looks
narrow
back
his
at
eye
him.
a little bit. And just say, "Do you have any tools?"
Ari will look at him for a long moment. He'll kind of like, rather than having all his cards fanned out, he'll kind of like tuck them all together, and he's like, "No, I don't."
I know you do. You just asked me.
Maybe I just really like the number 2.
Show me your cards.
No,
Show me your cards.
absolutely not. Go fish.
No. Ari, and he's starting to inch over the table, and he's like, "Ari, you show me your fucking cards."
No, I don't think I will, as he's like holding them against his chest.
At that, Nershellus will disappear under the table, and he will come out on the other side, crawling up Ari's chest to grab the card.
Nershellus, what are you doing?
Then give me your 2s.
No, you can't have this.
Give me your 2s.
I require the 2s.
Can he reach up and just grab them? Like all of his cards?
Yeah, you reach, you probably just pry them out of his hand. If you flip through them really quick, you'll see he does have 1, 2.
He will pick that 2 up, and folding it, he will put it between his teeth, shred it, and swallow it. He'll say,
Oh, Violet.
nobody has any 2s. And keep in mind, he's still under the fucking table.
Well, let me see your cards. Why would you ask me for a 2?
No,
Yes, come back here.
Come back!
This fucking like grabs him by the shirt. Everyone's trying to enjoy breakfast, and these two are just.
Listen, we got breakfast and a show.
Yeah, honestly. Arca's like eating a breakfast sausage and watching this go down. Like, I don't think this is how this game is played, but I think I like it.
Feral little child is just crawling underneath the table.
Ari's like,
picks up her feet and she's like, all right. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat my sausage and shut up. Alright, I'm just gonna.
right about that moment, Baldwin walks into the room.
Oh.
And he just sees, most everyone sitting rather calmly. And then he just sees Ari reaching under the table with, like, Narcellus in his grasp, like, grabbing him by the shirt. He's trying to reach for the cards he has in his hand.
Narcellus just yells, "This is like 4 different war crimes!
What do you mean?
You're not looking at my card!" He grabs, he just shoves them directly into his mouth and swallows them.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Perfect.
that is
He's
not,
like, now,
that is not food.
now
That's not,
no
that's
one
not how
will
you play,
know.
Narcellus. That's not how you play.
No, that's exactly how you play. Keep doing you, Narcellus.
Oh.
Why are you encouraging this?
What?
Listen.
Go on my shirt!
Fine, and he'll let go as Narcellus just falls back on the floor.
And Narcellus immediately just smacks his fucking head on the floor.
Oh.
And you just hear, like,
God.
oh.